Hi everyone, this is Jack from Maths Forge, and in today's lesson we're going to be reading standard form. So for the first example, we're being asked to find the value of 4 times 10 to the power of 2. So of course, 4 times 10 to the power of 2 is actually just 10 multiplied by 10. And so 4 times 10 is 40, times another 10 is 400. And this should be our final answer, so let's check our answer. There it is. For the 2-star example, we're being asked to multiply 6 by 10 to the power of negative 3. So here, we're going to do 6 multiplied by, and if you remember the lesson on negative indices, having a negative indice on a number causes the number to become a denominator with a positive, and we are left with a 1 in the numerator. So this 10 to the minus 3 is rewritten as 1 over 10 to the power of 3. And of course, if you remember the lesson on multiplying fractions, we have 6, which can be written as 6 over 1, multiplied by 1 over 10 to the power of 3. So this is going to give us 6 times 1, which is 6, and 1 times 10 to the power of 3, which is 10 to the power of 3. Now, 10 to the power of 3 can be written as 10 times 10 times 10. And this is going to give us 6 over 1,000, because of course 10 times 10 times 10 is 1,000. And of course, if you remember the lesson on place value, 6 divided by 1,000 will give us 0.006. So this should be the value of 6 times 10 to the power of negative 3. And if we check our answer, there it is. Now let's take a look at a 3-star example. Here we're being asked to find the value of 6.295 times 10 to the power of 2. So I have 6.295 multiplied by 10 squared, and we know that 10 squared is 10 times 10, which is 100. And if you remember from the lesson on place value, multiplying by 100 causes all of the place values to become larger by 100. So they all move 2 spaces to the left. And this is going to leave us with a final answer of 629. So the 2 and the 9 have moved 2 spaces to the left. And then we have the decimal point there. And then we have a 5 afterwards. And if we check our answer, there it is. So we'll do one more 3-star example with a negative power. So we have 4.6 multiplied by 10 to the power of negative 5. And we saw in the 2-star example, this 10 to the power of negative 5 becomes 1 over 10 to the power of positive 5. And of course, we multiply it out and simplify the answer to get our final answer. There is a quicker way of doing this. Since we know multiplying by a negative power causes the overall value to become smaller, so all of the numbers in their place values move to the right, we can use this with the fact that the power is 5 to deduce that all of the numbers here are going to move to the right by 5 places. So what does that look like? Well, the 4 that was in the units column now is going to be in the tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths, 100,000ths. So it's going to move 5 places to the right. And you can see it in the question. The power of 5 is an indication of how many places it's going to move. And the negative is an indication that it's going to move to the right. So this 4 will now be here. And of course, the 6, which was to the right of it, is going to follow suit. So it's going to be right here next to it. So what goes into all of these empty places? Well, it's going to be 0 since it is a placeholder. And we're going to put 0 here, 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 and right at the front. So our final answer should be 0.000046. And if we check our answer, there it is. So doing it this way is quicker, but you have to commit to memory that the negative indice causes all of the place values to move to the right, and the actual number in the power tells you how many places they're moving by, which in this case was 5. And that's it for our lesson on reading standard form.